Good morning parents, good morning grade 3s. I hope you're ready for some maths, so you can get your booklets, you can open them and let's get started. Okay, page 27. So, what do we pay? Okay, so donate 50 blankets for one blanket. 50 rand for one blanket. Okay, so basically you are paying 50 rand for this blanket, for one blanket. So, it says here, what do they pay? So we have Gwazi, we have Mrs. Shanae, and we have Tembi's store. Okay, so remember now, one blanket is 50 rand. Okay, so Gwazi buys 2 blankets. So if one is 50 rand, how much will it be if she buys 2? So it's just going to be 50 plus 50, and then you write the answer there. Okay, Mrs. Shanae, she buys 5 blankets. So that means it's 5 times 50. So you're just going to count in 50s 5 times. 50, 100, 150 until you get 5, and then you write your answer. And then Tembi's store buys 20 blankets. So that means it's 20 times 50 rand. Okay, an easy way to also do this, guys, because we know 0 and 0 it stays, all you can do is you can say 5 times 2 and then you just add another 0. What is 5 times 2? It is 10, and then just add the final 0, then you'll get your answer there. Okay, 20 blankets, 0 and that 0. So what will 20 blankets, the price of 20 blankets be? So 2 times 5 is 10. And then add that 0, add that 0. And then you have that answer over there. Okay, then you write it. Now, here again, we have the table. So 5 for 50 means it's 250. That means 5 times 50 is 250. So what will 4 times 50 be? So all you're going to do is you're going to count in 50 4 times. 50, 100. 150, 200. Then you have your answer. This time you're going to count in 50 3 times. This time you're going to count in 50 7 times. So this side, just times it with that side, and you will get your answer over there. Okay. So that is it for page 127. The last one you don't have to do because you have to be in class for that one. Okay, so page 128. Before you can do page 128, I want you first to go look at the video that I've shared as well, because the video is about fractions, and that's what we are going to do now, fractions. So please have a look at the video, then you come back to page 128. Okay, but the fractions we are going to do is halves and quarters. Okay, now a halves fraction will always look the same. So whenever we have half of the pizza or half of the apples, or a half will always be 1/2. Okay, for example, if we have an apple and we cut the apple in half, it means there are 2 halves. That's why we write 2 here, because the bottom part, the total of parts, it means we have 2 parts, and the top part, each of us will get 1. That's why we call it a half. Okay, the same if, let's say, we have this piece of paper over here, and we want to cut this paper in half. So half means we will only fold it once. So if we want the fraction, remember the bottom part will be how many parts. There are 1, 2. The top part is how many will each get. So I will get 1 part, you will get the other part, therefore the top is 1. And in total, we call this a half. Okay. Then a quarter. A quarter, how many pieces do we have in a quarter? A quarter has 4 pieces. That's what a quarter looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. A quarter always has 4 pieces. So let's say we already cut it in half, but we now have to cut it into a quarter. It means there should be 4 pieces at the end of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I take 3 of them and you get 1, it means I have 3 out of the 4 and you have 1 out of the 4 pieces. Let's say here's the quarter. There are 4 pieces. That's why at the bottom we write 4, because the bottom part will tell us how many pieces we have. So let's say I give you 2 and I have 2. Then the top part will be 2 because I have 2, and yours will also be 2 because you will also have 2. Okay, just like they've said in the video as well. So a quarter is when you have 4 pieces all together. 1 quarter. Okay, so that's what we're going to work with today, with a half and with a quarter. So let's look at the first question over here. So we have purple balls and we have 2 boxes. The first question is very easy. How many balls are in each box? So in total there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 balls. So if we want to divide it, remember we are working with half. So what is half of 12? Half of 12 is 6. This one will get half, this one will get the other half. So the purple box has 6. The purple box has half of the balls. So how do we write half? Remember how many boxes are there? There are 1, 2 boxes. Now this is the thing about half. When you have half, you're not going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to write 1 because they have half of the box, and the blue box has the other half. A half will always be 1 over 2. Half a slice of pizza, guys. Now a pizza has 8 slices, just like they've said in the video. But if we are 2 people, there's the first person, there's the second person. We want to share the pizza equally. So this one will get half of the pizza, and this person will get the other half. So we will always write a half 1 over 2. Okay. Now a quarter. Like I said, a quarter has 4 parts. We can so long go here because we know the bottom part of this fraction will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Because that's what a quarter is all about. Okay, now this sum there are 12 balls, and if we have to divide it into groups of 3, it means each box will have 3 balls. 3 balls, 3 balls. So what is the fraction for the purple box? Okay, so the fraction will be, now we look, there are 4 boxes. How many is inside the purple? Each one gets the exact same amount. Do you see that? So that means each one will get 1/4 of the 12 balls. Because we know a quarter is 4, so we know it's very easy to see that each of them will get 1/4 of the balls. Okay. So it doesn't mean they will get 1 ball. It will mean they will get 1/4 of the balls. Okay. Now, at the bottom, look at the pictures and answer the questions. So how many circles do you count? How many circles altogether? Count the circles. There are 6 circles. So what is half of the circle? What is half of the circle? What is half of 6? Half of 6 is 3. Okay, that's what half of 6 is. Okay, now look at this side. Remember, a quarter is 4. Inside each quarter there is 4 as well. So how many circles do you count? 4, 8, 16, 20. Altogether there are 20 circles. So what is a quarter of the circles? That means this is a quarter, né? This is 1/4. So how many circles are there in 1/4? There are 1, 2, 3, 4. How many circles are there in 2 quarters? Remember, this is 1/4, this is 2 quarters. So it's 4, 8. So I want you now to go and see how many are there in 3 quarters. 1, 2, 3 quarters. And how many are there in 4 quarters? Okay, so you are going to try those 2. Page 129, we are continuing with fractions, halves and quarters. Remember, a half is when there are 2, like here, 1, 2, or 1, 2. A quarter is when there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, color in half of each shape. Now we already know the bottom part tell us there has to be 2 parts. So it means you're going to divide each shape into 2. 1, 2 parts, 1, 2 parts, 1, 2 parts. They say color 1. You're going to color a half. So the top part will tell you how many pieces of this should you color, and you should color 1. So you're going to color 1 of that shape. You're going to color better than me, please. 1 of that shape and 1 of that shape. Okay, I know this coloring is not very nice, but I know you can color much better than me. Okay, this time we have quarters. A quarter means there has to be 4 pieces. 4 pieces. 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many of each piece should you color? Only 1. So out of that one, you color 1. That one, you color 1. That one, you color 1. Do you see? So the bottom part will tell you how many pieces you should divide it into. The top part tells you how many you should color. Okay, because let's say that this was a big chocolate, and this chocolate has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces inside that chocolate. And if I say I ate a quarter of the chocolate, it means you ate 1 out of the 4 pieces. Okay. If this was a chocolate as well, and it says 2 quarters, it means you ate 2 out of the 4. Okay. So you're also going to do these two. Remember, bottom part, how many pieces there should be. Top part, how many you should color. Then, yeah, look at the fraction strips. So this is an easy way to see fractions. This is 1 whole. So when we have a whole apple, we have 1 whole. We have the whole apple. Let's say we will now take that apple and we are dividing it into, we are cutting it in half. Then it means we have half an apple, because now there are 2 parts. Now we take that apple and we want to divide it into a quarter. It means we're going to cut this one, the same with what I did with the paper. Let's rather take a paper. We have 1 whole paper. Now we want to cut it into half. Now there we cut it into half. Now it's half the paper. Now we want quarters. So we know a quarter is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we have A, B, and C. So how many halves, remember, makes 1 whole? So a half is when there are 2. When there are 2. So how many halves? So this is a half and this is a half. So how many do you need to make it whole again? You need 2. Because if you have 2 and you put them together, it means it's 1 paper again. Okay. How many quarters makes a whole? Now this time, remember, a quarter, you have 4. So how many do you need to make it whole again? You need 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I write it in fractions, it will look like that. 2 means it's 1 whole. 4 means it's 1 whole. Okay. Now the next question. How many quarters will make 1 half? So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, because we are working with a quarter, they're asking us how many quarters will make a half. So if you want to half it, it will be 2 quarters. No, because this is 1 quarter and this is 2 quarters. So to make a half, I will need 2 quarters. 1 quarter, the second quarter. Okay. Okay, guys. Then, so if we write that in a fraction, it will be 2 quarters. We'll make 1 half. Because half of 2 is 1, half of 4 is 2. Now the last question, oh no, we are at B. Look at the diagrams and write a fraction for the shaded part. Okay, so at the top you had to shade. At this question they already shaded for you. You have to write the fraction. Okay, so look at the first one. You're going to do these 3. Okay, remember they are divided into quarters. It may not seem very clear, but they are divided into quarters because a quarter means there are 4 pieces. So the first one, the bottom part will always tell you how many parts are there. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. The top part will tell you how many of them are colored. Okay, so all the bottom parts will be 4 because all of them have 4 parts. The top part, you count how many are colored, then you'll get your answer. And the last question, which fraction is bigger? Now this is an important question. So let's say we have a pizza. Ne? We have a pizza. Pizza has 8 slices. Okay. Now, a half, if we have to divide this pizza in half, it means each one of us will get a half. We will get 4 slices. If we have to divide the pizza into a quarter, it means it's like this. So here you will get 1, 2, 3, 4 slices when you have half a pizza. And when you have a quarter of a pizza, you will only get 2 slices. So which one is more? It's half. Half a pizza is more than a quarter. Okay guys, so that's it for today. We will continue with fractions tomorrow.